In this chapter, we'll start with the retopology of the character. As you see, we imported our mesh from ZBrush to Maya, and we'll start working on it here in Maya itself. But I want to do some clarifications before. First of all, like, this character is still not finished, the sculpt. But we are in a good point that we already have the fingers, we have the toes, and we have all the elements that needs to be there. And I left some areas that they won't be finished. For example, here the butt, like I left it like a bit separate from each other, just to make, and the same with the toes and with the fingers, to make it easier to do the topology now in Maya. So for this, later, when we will do the retopology here, and then we will import this, we will project the details from our retopo mesh, from our Dynamesh to our retopo mesh, and then we will keep working already in our subdivision levels in the retopo mesh. And then from then on will be like everything much more straightforward. Because why we don't work on all the details and everything at this point and then we do retopology? Because when you project, you might have some issues and stuff, so I prefer to do this in a bit of an early stage. So for this now, I imported like this is the lowest the lowest subdivision of our Dynamesh, and this is the head that we had imported, like subdivision 2, I think it is, that we've been working in that file. But first of all, before jumping on the topology, we need to fix something from our previous course. On our previous course, as we were working only in the head and we didn't create the entire body, and now that we created the entire body with the right proportions, we realized that there is an issue with proportions now with the head that we have in our previous course. Why is that? The head is okay in terms of proportions, but the problem is that our head, in the position how it is and in the scale how it is, it would be with the new proportions of this character, like a character of 1.60 m more or less. And with our character, we want him to be like pretty big and pretty tall. So it will be like, not a massive guy, but between 1.85 m, 1.90 m, I think should be okay. 1.80 m and 1.90 m, I think. Doesn't need to be exact. But so for that, we need to do some fixes here. Because our mesh, first of all, our mesh from the previous course is a bit smaller than what we have now and is in a different position. And we will be using, for our renders, we will keep using that head, right? Because we will keep our head and body separate. Then I will explain better why we keep the head and body separate. But for now, what I want to do is to scale these things. And the other thing is that as we've been working in ZBrush, I realize now that this now is higher from the floor, like we have like 15 centimeters, and we want our character to be standing on the floor. This is not essential, but now that we are here, I can fix it. So for that, what I will do is I will take our lowest subdivision from the Dynamesh. And why we work on the lowest subdivision? Because later we will import this back into ZBrush, and needs to be in the lowest subdivision so it maintains the two highest subdivisions. And once we fix this, then we'll import it in ZBrush and it will get to the right position directly there. The same with this mesh, right? So for that, I will select these two. I'll make a group just to have them like together. And I will put Dynamesh here, _group. And then here, what I will do is I will come to our front view and I will bring our character until like more or less touching the floor. Again, doesn't need to be exact, just to have it more or less in position. So now that we have this here, like in the right position, our character standing in the floor, we will check now really quick. I will make a cube here and I will do 1.80 m by 1.80 m by 1.80 m. And in our front view, I'll come here, press 4 to check the height, and come like this and see that, yeah, our character is 1.80 m, 1.81 m maybe. So this is good. We are good to go with this. So again, I will come here, press 5 again. And here, what we have now is that we have this head, the old one, that is the lowest subdivision again, for the same concept that we imported here, the lowest, because we will later import this one in our ZBrush file from the previous course, and this will get into the new position, right? So if we would do it with the highest subdivision, then we couldn't import it unless we would delete the lowest subdivision from ZBrush, so that we don't want that. So for this, we have at the moment like this mesh here and this mesh here, that they have completely different topology, right? Like it's a higher subdivision, so it's a different topology. So for that, we want to transfer the attributes from this one to this one, right? And for that, what we need to do is we will do something that is called transfer attributes. So for this we will, and this is possible because we have, let me go to my UV editing, because we have the same UVs in one head to the other one, right? So what we will do now is we will select our head, this one, that is one subdivision higher, in the new position. We'll select later with Shift the other head, okay? Then we'll go to Windows, Mesh, Transfer Attributes. We'll press here the square to get the options. And then we will say that we need to transfer the vertex position, okay? So we don't want to transfer vertex normal, we don't need to transfer UV sets, and we don't want to transfer color sets. We want to transfer vertex position to put this in the right place. And we want to, the attribute settings, it means the sample space, is like what it will take Maya, what it will Maya use to transfer these attributes. So word doesn't work because it needs to be exactly in the same position, local neither, topology neither because we don't have the right topology, the same topology. So we'll go with UVs. So now we press UVs and then we press transfer, and this will transfer the UVs to the original position, the mesh to the original position of this. As we see here, if we go, let's go again to if we see here, this group is in a translate of minus 5.952. If I press this to 0, as you see, the mesh will be transferred to that same place. So what I will do now is I will come here, I will copy this, Control C, okay? And then I will come here, and I will come here and Control V, press Enter. So now we have it in the right position. Then for this, what I would do is I will delete history. I will delete history from this. This history is Alt-Shift-D. And then with this mesh, I will hide this one. And with this mesh, I will come and to modify freeze transformations. So now at this point, and I will do the same with this group. So modify and freeze transformations. So now what we have is like we have the base meshes to import to ZBrush and transfer the position as we had from our head and from our body to the new position of our character.